How's it going, guys? Man like Sarge here, back with another Dokkan Battle video, and it is Dragon Ball Heroes Day. So of course the brand new Heroes units have released, and we are taking a look at the headlining unit, which is Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito Zeno. We're never going to say that name again, we're just going to call him Limit Breaker Vegito from now on. But we did get this guy. He is of course the big headlining unit. We did get 3 copies of him, as well as another copy of Fizz Vegito, which is going to be used in the showcase, which I'm very grateful for. This guy, I think, is just incredible. Like, for what he's doing, he just absolutely just stomps. Like, compared to a lot of the Dokkan Fest this year, like, I've got Rainbow Turles, I've got Kale, I've got all those kind of Dokkan Fest, and they all kind of have flaws. But this guy, I'm not seeing an awful lot. His whole design seems pretty tight. So his leader skill is Dragon Ball Heroes Giant 8 Power or Fuse Kite Fighter, Ki +3 and HP attack and defense +170%, plus additional HP attack and defense +30% for characters who also belong to the crossover category. So relatively decent leader skill. Another Giant 8 Power lead is always good, and this guy actually I feel is a very good one this time, as opposed to Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta last year. He wasn't that great for that team. It's because of how his passive work, which we'll get into. So his super attack is the Galactic Sword, which raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage to the enemy. And then his passive skill is Sword that cuts through darkness. He activates the entrance animation upon entry, once only, and a chance of critical hit +30% and reduces damage received by 30% for 6 turns from the character's entry turn. Ki +3 and attack and defense +200%, plus additional 100% attack and defense when performing a super attack, plus additional 100% attack, and a great chance of launching an additional super attack when there is a Giant 8 Power or crossover category ally attacking in the same turn, or a Giant 8 Power or crossover category enemy. That's really good, because it's only 1. You don't need 2, you only need 1 for that part of his passive. But even then, this guy's a crossover and Giant 8 Power lead. He wants to be run with those 2 categories. But then the kicker is critical hit plus chance of performing a critical hit +40% and reduces damage received by 30% when all allies attacking the same turn are Giant 8 Power or crossover category characters. So this guy, when you get his full passive, it has 60% damage reduction and 70% chance to crit at all times for the first, well, actually not all times, for the first 6 turns, which is really, really good. For any unit, that is such an impressive leader passive to have, and such an impressive defense and attack to have. And you're going to see this guy's not going to be throwing out insignificant numbers. And then he also has the active skill, which is Galactic Internal Sword, which can be activated when all allies attacking the same turn are crossover category characters, starting from the 3rd turn, or starting from the 6th turn from the start of battle. So a relatively decent active skill. The conditions are not that bad. I mean, you got 2, which is good, 1 which gets it you really quickly, and 1 that gives you it later on in the fight. And then he greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and within the same turn all attacks become critical hits. So this guy, you're going to see when we get him on the team, he's going to be throwing out some pretty heavy attack stats. Like, you're going to be pretty surprised, and he's going to be throwing out multiple of them. So I got him 90%. Of course, yeah, I've got him full level 10 links. This is the first unit I've used the link level skill orbs on. I used them to get him from level 5 to level 10. I just couldn't bother to go for any more grinding when I could get it done. So we're going to be running him. We're going to be trying him on his crossover team. We're going to be doing a video on the Giant 8 Power team on its own at a later point to see if maybe like things like LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and of course the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta can really fit on the team. But for now, we're going to go in. We're going to run in Red Zone Freezer. We're going to run him with Fizz Vegito. Going to have a full crossover team, and we're going to see how things go. So give me a minute, and we'll be right into that. Alright guys, so here we are in Red Zone Freezer. He does have an entrance animation, of course, as we mentioned. So we're going to let this play out, and then we're going to go from here, and we'll see how things go. So let me put myself on mute, and let's listen to this intro. I'll admit, it's a little bit of a shame that there's no voice acting for that particular part. I understand why. It's probably due to licensing due to Heroes, but it feels a little bit off. But it's not that big of a deal. It's not like he's saying very massive things in that part. So we got a Rainbow Vegito friend here, of course. My one is in slot 7, so we can get this kind of, we can just play it out like this. In fact, I'm going to play the rotation like this. I'm going to do it in this exact opposite way and let Zeno Goku just sit in slot 1. So you can see here, let's look at the Rainbow friend. So the Rainbow friend is at 307,000 defense, 960. So remember, he gets 150% on super attack. So he's going to be at, what? 750k defense with 60% damage reduction after this super attack. I mean, for a hero's unit, this is like, are we gonna say that's bad? Like, okay, he's gonna take a super attack. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. Of course, he's fully buffed up. He's got his full damage reduction, and of course we've got Fizz Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. 10 million from that guy. Bloody hell. I mean, like, look, this rotation, as you're gonna see, is very much suited for dealing with this stuff. Look, 13 million from him. This guy's not the showcase one, and remember, he's got a chance for another, but he doesn't even get to have to do it. So I'm gonna go in, run this rotation here. So, you know, I'm gonna trust in Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I haven't used this guy in quite a long time because he was not that great last year, but if I'm running him on this team, I'm gonna try and get that 200%. I'm going to try and get those extra buffs, baby. I'm going to try and get those 7 hits. Goku. 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 You could tank better than this, man. 5.47 from him. Like, this is another reason as to why. Like, when you look at this guy's, this last year, he needed super class crossover. So actually, no, he hasn't got his damage reduction actually at all. Now I realize why he's taking so much damage. Okay, nice from Tora. It's because he needs super class, doesn't he? So Toa doesn't fulfill the passive. So, oh my goodness, I'm actually sandbagging Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But he's not going to be able to get his 30% damage reduction that he can get from that. Okay, so here is my Vegito. This is what we wanted. We can already bring out the active skill. So this is my Vegito. You'll notice straight away that my Vegito is 90% and that Vegito was rainbowed. And I already have more defense. But if I had to guess, this... No, actually. This Vegito is level 10 links, because I was going to say mine's level 10 links. But it must be the big reason as to why is the fact I've given him a level 7 defensive equip. I might switch it over to HP, because I've come to realize maybe for the heroes units, maybe for all of these guys, like, I could just throw some HP on all of them. You know, every single one of them. Like, it's not that big of a deal. If they're not taking, they're taking hits. Like, I could probably throw defense HP on all of these guys and build up their... you know, the HP pool of the team a little bit more, but we'll see about it. But let's take a look at the rotation. So 308,000 defense, 236 and 236. So once again, 150%. So we're in the 700 range with 60% damage reduction. And remember, we're going to have guaranteed crits. So we're going to do this. We'll let Zeno Zeno Goku's just really here just to be like a option. But he's not really here to be actually contributing that much. So what do we get from a Rainbow level 10 link? 13.1. I mean, look at that. He's just, and this is, remember, this has a 70% chance to crit. So we get that, and then we get the additional 13.8. And we have an opportunity for one more, because this is from his passive. We have one more that we can get from the hidden potential system, but we don't get it. But I mean, that was a lot of damage he just did on that turn. And then look, 10.7. This rotation is actually formidable. It's not like a good rotation for this category. This is a good rotation. Like, if you can get this rotation, you're actually running a really strong team. So Goku's gonna get his full passive here. We can activate the active skill, of course. We'll do it next turn, actually. I think, or actually, no, we're going to save it for the end. We're definitely going to save it for the final turn. So, what are my thoughts on Vegito? Is just really the simple fact that he's incredible. Like, what it really is that's really good as well is he just is. There's no build up, there's no like I have to do this first to achieve this condition and all that kind of stuff. He just is. You just put him on a team, you fulfill this condition for the, you know, his category allies, and then he just does this. There's no you get it all from turn 1. And then he's just hitting so much damage on the enemy, and he's got so many opportunities for supers, and he can crit. Like, I don't get why we can't get designs like this the rest of the year. What they really should be doing is something similar to this, where instead of having them need things to build up to, Just make them have certain categories that are pretty decent, and then just make them have them on the team. Like, Super Trunks almost has the right idea, but Super Trunks has a chance to guard. If Super Trunks just had, like, you know, guaranteed guard when you have Cell Saga enemy allies, like a Rose has from the crossover category, like, he'd be perfectly fine. Like, the team would be perfect. So we're gonna do this at 14.5 because we have Toa support on the turn. And remember, we've got more support, so we're probably at like what, 15 million. Once again, 70% chance to crit. Go on, Vegito, do what you're gonna do. Like, I mean, look at this. This is crazy damage. Like, literally the only flaw right now I can say of Vegito is, simply put, his HP stat. That's my biggest flaw with Vegito. I mean, look, 13,000 HP is not a very high defensive stat. Not a defensive stat, HP stat. You really want more HP nowadays. Like, think about it. We run Future Gohan's team. He's got 29 million. He's got 29,000. You're running the Blues at like 18. Trunks at 24. All those kind of units. You're over like 700k easily. You can get up to 800 if you have the right units on the team. And it's just, this team just doesn't have those bloated HP stats. In fact, another reason as to why is the simple fact that Heroes doesn't have an LR yet. Like, we look at Dragon Ball Heroes, and of course there's no LRs here at all. There's none. Like, an LR would be very helpful for this team, just because it would give us some more HP. Imagine if we got an LR leader where you could run him and then you can run Vegito on the team. Like, you'd be so much better off. But once again, we'll keep on going through with how we were playing this rotation. So Vegito's gonna take a super attack straight away. This is the friend. So he still has his damage reduction. This is his last turn of it though. So after this turn, we're gonna lose that 70% chance to crit. We're gonna be at 40% chance, and we're gonna have 30% damage reduction from there on out. We didn't get the hidden potential, so we didn't get the additional super from his passive, but we can live with that. But yeah, when it comes down to it, this guy's just very strong. But he also is quite strong for short events, whereas I'd say, like, we're going to do a Rose showcase, of course, but I think Rose, his counterpart, is actually much more suited for longer events as opposed to Vegito, because Vegito gets weaker as the fight goes on, whereas Rose gets stronger. Of course, he transforms once he reaches turn 5, whereas this guy loses damage reduction on turn 6. So it almost feels like they want to do like some kind of, you know, way of working around it, where you go, okay, Vegito's one god, you got Rose, you're floating him off, you're working with his conditions, and then you get to turn 5 and Vegito's now lost his damage reduction. Now he's got 30%, and of course then you've now got Rose who's transformed. You've got an absolute killer in the back. So I think overall the Heroes units this year, outside of 3 of the 5 this year, have been pretty solid choices. There is one, of course, that isn't, but we'll get to. There's 2 that haven't, but we'll get to them. So 79k, and then 13.1. So there's no real variance. There's nothing else really to show off when it comes to this guy, because he just kind of. So we're getting unlucky now with the hidden potential system. We'll get those dodges in. My Vegito is 21 additional, 21 dodge, and 10.1 from you. And I think after this time we'll actually use the Vegito active skill. We'll see what that brings out for us, because I think it's going to be a very hard-hitting super attack, but then we can also see how it works when we... How does Gohan take this? Because he's got the support from Vegito, 50% damage reduction, double digits, of course. I mean, Gohan on this team is probably a lot better than he was before. So we're going to use the active skill here. We're going to see if we can kill with this. So actually, no, it's not really anything to worry about, because he's just super attack, so we can't do it right away. So you know what? Actually, I won't. I want to finish it with my one. We'll see the first one with my one. So let's get into this next turn. So he'll do this, probably do a little bit of damage at 25k. So look, that's the difference. That's when he loses the that's when he loses that 30% damage reduction. He can start taking damage from normals, and then he gets the crit. That's good. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the the fight. We have got the active skills, so let's take a look. So we can actually see what his defense is going to be after we pop this. So we're going to pop that skill. Remember, he raises his attack, he causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and he also gets crits for the rest of the turn. So let's put him in the middle, see if there's anything else. No, we don't seem to. So let's pop this and see what we get. I mean, that was not an insignificant amount of damage, and that's how much defense we get after doing that. 770k, and he's still got 30% damage reduction. So I think he could potentially not die to a super attack from Frieza if he did it on him. I still hope he doesn't, of course, but I don't think it's... Oh, actually, we get the Dokkan attack as well. So let's take a look at this. 13.1. So there's been no change in the attack stat, but it's just been like, look at how much damage he does every time he's on rotation. If you get the full passive, if you get the additionals and you get the crit, he's just absolutely tearing through these enemies. Like, I feel like this guy is going to be great against Red Zone Fusion Zabasu. Like, I feel like he's easily going to be able to deal with that guy. So let's see how much we do here. 17. Of course he supers him right away. So let's see how much damage he takes. Okay. Never mind. Dodge comes through once again, baby. Alright, so we'll finish with the other video, actually, because we can finish with the other video. So we'll finish with looking hella cool. And then Goku. I feel like this guy's going to get a new surge of life as well on this team, because of course any slot 1 tanks will be really great, and he's got the damage reduction, of course. So like at this point we've won. So let's do this one and we'll wrap it up, and then we'll give our final thoughts. So that's the fight. That's Vegito. I must admit, man, this guy's fun. That's another thing, actually, when it comes to units this year. Some of them have not been very fun. This guy is just fun. Like, I'm just enjoying using him. I use him and I just have a smile on my face the whole time. He's just a cool unit. Now I just need heroes to give me the Gogeta variant of this kind of unit, and we'll be cooking. I'll be absolutely over the moon. But that is Vegito. How did you guys do on your summons today? If you went for him, I hope you got a copy, because even at this 55%, I think this guy's an absolute beast. But yeah, if you've had any good luck on the banner, any notable pulls, let me know. If you are willing to see a new video, give me a like. If I said willing, like you're being held at gunpoint. If you want to see a new video, give me a like or something. It'll be very cool. But we got some more showcases coming. We have, of course, got 4 characters, other characters that released with him, and we will be getting videos out for all of them. But let's do it one at a time. So we'll get someone, a certain Crimson Saiyan next. But that's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, night, morning, evening, wherever you guys are. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.